Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now December 20th of 2023, and given that we have a lot of things going on over at Disney and Marvel Studios right now, especially with Deadpool 3, as we discussed earlier, there's a lot of creative differences rising for the third act between writers Ryan Reynolds, Rhett, Rheese, Paul Wernick going up against the Disney higher-ups, and how they are spilling some level of DEI into that project in particular. But when it comes to the X-Men related project for the MCU, this is where things begin to unravel and really begin to get very ugly between those like Ryan Reynolds and Bob Iger. Let's discuss. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, there's pretty much little to no hope about the future of the MCU, at least a couple of years out at this point. We already know that the whole Jonathan Majors situation is creating a god-awful mess as we know it, but everything related to X-Men and all mutant-era projects is already beginning to come to the realization that Disney is doomed with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and that they have no care in the world about any level of fan backlash or fan concern within this community. Now, one thing about X-Men, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, is that Disney wanted to take a different approach than what was done in earlier years. As you all know, Disney acquired Fox, and they own things now like X-Men, Alien, Predator, etc., etc., and so that's exactly why we have a new Alien film called Romulus coming out next year that's going to be all Disney-driven. And now a lot of fans out there are also worried about the Alien franchise. However, when it comes to Ryan Reynolds and his stance about how Disney is taking X-Men a different direction, this is where things get really serious. Now, with Bob Iger and the board of directors already embracing a challenging 2024, one major development has to do with Ryan Reynolds and his stance against Disney after the ongoing drama and creative differences have risen for Deadpool 3. One crucial development that has to do with Ryan Reynolds and his struggles with Disney involved Kevin Feige and Bob Iger's approach to the future X-Men film being female-focused and doubling down on their DEI usage. Now, this movement by both Kevin and Bob is what created more tension between Reynolds and those at Marvel Studios, where Ryan was originally going to be a co-writer for the upcoming MCU X-Men film. After their agendas spilled into this project, this is something that Reynolds was challenging in a desperate move to actually move the agendas out of this project. This in turn is what ultimately led Ryan to getting removed from this project for the MCU and other projects that are to be mutant-focused projects after the multiverse era. Now, Ryan reportedly was very frustrated and angered over Disney's forced move to double down on their usage of DEI and agendas in X-Men, since Ryan was attempting to protect the 20th Century Fox style of X-Men. This creative difference first started once Disney wanted to make aspects of Deadpool 3 more female-focused within the second and third act to shift focus away from those like Wolverine and Deadpool for a great deal of time. Now, aka the new common bait-and-switch technique by Disney seems to continue with the upcoming films, something writers Rhett, Rheese, and Paul Wernick, the writers of Deadpool 3, are begging Disney to course-correct at that, with MCU's X-Men set to get a series of announcements in the first quarter of 2024 by Disney's Bob Iger and Kevin Feige over at Marvel Studios about their direction, both of which are reportedly not taking any of Ryan's words seriously as of this moment. And though Kevin has remained friendly with Ryan, they also fell into creative struggles that eventually progressed to discussions with the higher-ups over at Disney, leading to Ryan's removal as an important piece to insert Deadpool somehow into the upcoming X-Men film. Now guys, let me just pause here quick before I get to the big conclusion about all of this, is that now we already know that they want Hugh Jackman back for multiple films. They want to bring him back past Deadpool 3. They want to bring him into Secret Wars. They want to bring him into the Avengers. And this is something that is going to essentially create a new era of Wolverine. And actually, a lot of fans are very worried about that because obviously everything that Disney touches either gets tarnished or destroyed in some way, shape, or form, or it becomes a lighter version of what it once was, right? AKA Star Wars, right? We all saw what they did to that franchise, and if you compare it to the originals or even the prequels at that, it's not the same at all. And this is exactly why fans are very much concerned about what's going to happen with X-Men now that it is going to be using a lot of DEI and making it all female focused, and this is actually occurring, and everything happening with the Alien franchise. We have more to talk about that in the coming days as well, so stay tuned. But yeah, I mean, this overall response, this reaction, if you will, from Ryan Reynolds is all natural, you know. He is someone that just wants to create pure entertainment. He is a passionate creator. He is someone that actually loves and cherishes Deadpool and the mutants, so to speak. And I think at the end of the day, you know, when you look at someone like Ryan Reynolds, he should just walk away from Disney. He should get out of there right now. And we already know that Deadpool 3 is like a half mess right now. You know, a lot of it is reportedly very well done, but there's other parts of it that in the later portion of production was all tarnished by Disney. And the third act is already getting delayed. Now they want to begin filming, or I should say extend filming, until February of next year. The later portion of that month, mind you, as opposed to January. So they're already having production delays, and I would not be surprised if it gets delayed from July of next year until, let's say, maybe August or September. I would not be shocked about that. But as of right now, it's still slated for July. They're going to have to really speed up the process of post-production for this film and getting the marketing done out there very fast. So, moving onwards, with DEI set to become even more serious in this film, as Iger will be doubling down on how they execute that into the movie, woke strategies are already spilling into a mutant-era project by Marvel Studios that also led to Ryan Reynolds' removal from 2 other mutant-related projects that were years away from production to begin with. After the Jonathan Majors situation, of course, this is the last thing that the MCU needs, and Disney holds no remorse in utilizing DEI into all mutant-era projects moving onwards. In light of all of this, both Ryan and Kevin are still friendly with each other, however, not so much between Bob and Ryan. Now, look, say what you will about Kevin Feige. You guys can have your opinion about him. I, for however, do not like the guy and how he is bringing the Marvel Cinematic Universe into the future. I think everything really capped or really hit its prime with Avengers Endgame. Everything after that has been hit or miss, and more misses in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we've had more misses than hits in all of these MCU projects ever since Endgame came out and about. So yeah, I mean, all these mutant-era projects are already getting tainted by Disney. Ryan Reynolds is not having it. Rheese is not all about this. Even Paul Wernick, surprisingly, wants nothing to do with any of this nonsense. And this is exactly why they, all 3 of them, are challenging Disney to course correct the third act of Deadpool 3. Now, like I said, so far Ryan has been happy with most of the film. It's just that the later portion has been heavily flawed with all their DEI strategies getting spilled into this, and the deleting, strategies of cameos that were very important to the story. There's a lot to talk about that later in the week too. But anyway, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.